All right. What else we got?
Um, well, it's funny because you were talking about alcohol. What did you just say? You said something about alcohol like a few minutes ago.
Just about it being legal, how the government
Yeah.
allows you to poison yourself.
So that's why this is kind of a good segue into the next topic. The next topic about addictions. I feel like there's a lot of addictions in this world that don't really get talked about, and if anything, they kind of get glorified. I feel like a lot of addictions are actually glorified and are like something that should really be talked about, in my opinion. Like I feel like especially young people, while we have a chance to like save ourselves from turmoil in the future and like destroying our own bodies, it's good to like for any young audience who are listening or watching to just point out things that I really do think are addictions that people should just be weary about.
I'm going to talk about my addictions.
What are your addictions?
I am addicted to. I forgot. I actually literally had an example of what I'm addicted
Alex,
to.
how do you not know on the top of your head what you're addicted to?
Yeah, that's crazy.
What were you going to say? Just say it.
No, actually, don't. Why did I literally forget? Because I guess it depends what you consider an addiction or not, right? Like, I can't not listen. I can't not listen to music whenever I'm just out and around. I don't know.
I think an addiction is anything like where you really feel like you have to do something, or or you kind of feel like stressed or sick or something.
Yeah.
You're not doing it.
I remember now. I'm addicted to like buying clothes.
And do you think that's actual addiction? Like, do you think that like you really feel like you have to buy something, or you're not satisfied, or like you're like stressed or
Yeah.
anxious or whatever?
Yeah. I think it's more so for me, like right now, presently. I think that I'm in the transition period of literally like I figured out exactly what I want.
Yeah.
And until I achieve it, then I'm psycho about it. Like you'll see me scrolling and looking at different things. I think I'm addicted to that. If you look
I
at,
think that's a real thing though. Like shopping addictions is definitely a real thing.
and for me, it's not even like shopping, buying addiction. It's more so just
Like looking, yeah.
and favoriting, and it's like, okay, I like this, and documenting it all. That's where I
I
spend
think
most
it's a
of
real
my.
thing.
That's where I spend most of my time on my phone is literally scrolling through shopping things. I don't do really anything else on my phone. I'm not on the only social media app I have is Instagram and TikTok if you count it, and I'm not on TikTok scrolling like that. So for me, it's literally just scrolling through different clothing apps and shopping. I think I'm personally addicted to that. I don't have any other addictions.
And then you said music it might be a borderline addiction.
No, music definitely is an addiction. Like if I'm,
But I don't know though, because like for the most part on a day to day, like when we're just chilling in our apartment, you don't really be listening to music. Like some people have to be listening to music all the time.
well, first of all, I don't want to be annoying. That's being like,
No, but you have your headphones in.
I don't like listening. If I try to avoid headphones as much as possible because it's better for your ears if you're at least listening to it on a speaker.
And if you're home, if you have these big expensive speakers,
and
why would you use the headphones?
Right, and the Bluetooth is like, I prefer to not have the wireless connection going through my head. So if I'm listening to something, you'll see I'll turn on these with a pill or something like that. I won't ever really have my headphones. But in general, yeah, once I leave here, second no, I mean like just in general, like if I leave the apartment, you see when I'm driving, I listen to music.
Well, that's normal. I like this.
Driving to the train station, I'm listening to music. Get out the car, listening to music all the way to work.
But that's normal though.
I know that's normal, but to some people it might not be because I'm actually the only person that does that, at least in my vicinity at work.
I mean, yeah, that's true. 'Cause, like you ever see like you have like your friends in high school or even in college, like back before we had AirPods that always just had the wire hanging out the ear. Like you'd be like, are you listening to music? Like they just always had to be listening to stuff. Yeah, so I think it's true. I think music addiction is a real thing because sometimes people are just addicted to the feeling music gives them, like the comfort it kind of gives them.
Really think about it though.
Filling up an empty space like in your head, basically.
Right now, like I didn't listen. Like if you take my day today,
yeah,
I woke up at 6 on the dot, and I mean the times don't really matter, but I listened to the radio on the drive to the train, which there was no music playing, but I listened to the radio. Got out the car at the train station, immediately put my music in, which was at about 6. I mean, was at about 6. What time was it? It was 6:58 in the morning. I didn't take off those headphones or turn off my music until 7:58. So about an hour's worth of music. Then the next time I put my headphones in was at 1. 1 to 2. That's 2 hours right there. Then on the ride back, I listened to music from 5 to about 6. So that's 3 hours right there. Went to the gym, listened to music from about 6:30 to like, let's just say 7:30 to round it. That's 4 hours, which makes it seem not that bad, actually.
Yeah, and it's hard too because some of those things I feel like, I don't know, it's hard because it's like for me, like I never listen to music. Like only time I listen to music is when I drive, or if I'm like by myself, like at the store or at the gym. Really, like honestly, I like on a day to day, I do not listen to music. If I'm not at the gym, or if I'm not in the gym and I'm not driving, I'm not listening to music. Like, so I guess maybe I don't know. Could you consider addiction though? Because like if I was taking the train to work every day, that's like a commute. Like what I was doing when I was driving to Newark an hour back when I lived. So like when I was before COVID and I was living at home, I listened to music a lot because I was driving to and from work. Like I'm not gonna just sit in an empty car. You're gonna listen to music, get pumped up. So it's like, would you consider that addiction, or do you feel like it's just the convenience of like that's what you do when you're on the train? That's what you do. Like I mean, I guess you could listen to podcasts or you could watch YouTube videos or whatever else. But
Well, I do
for
that.
the most part, people just listen to music when they're on the train or in their cars. So.
Yeah, I do that too. I used to do that when I had the longer train commute because I was sitting down for a long time. But on the train I'm on now, by the time I get on it, all the seats are filled. So I actually don't ever sit down. I'm always standing on the train, on the subway. I'm always standing up. So I never watch anything. I always have to listen to music because I'm not going to hold my phone and watch anything.
While you're standing. So that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like maybe, obviously you're self-aware and you would be able to know if you have an addiction or not. But I feel like also a lot of the situations that you're in is just listening to music out of convenience of those situations.
Yeah, I also think it's because I make it that my mind is even different. Like I think about music differently. I make it like listening to samples and stuff like that. Like there's a whole other part, but
it definitely could still be an addiction.
Yeah. What about you? What are your addictions?
I've said something I have borderline like addiction just being on my phone.
Borderline? Yeah. Your numbers are crazy. I think one time you pulled 18 hours. No, one time you pulled something crazy where like there was only 14 hours in the day and you were on your phone for 13 of them. That was.
You mean 24?
No, I mean like at that point in the day, like there was only 14 hours in the day to that point of the 24, and you were on your phone for 13 of them. I was like, you are, and I try not to be a parent and yell at you about it, but like you really should stop doing that.
I know. Like
especially because if you're on your phone that much, you have to be successful in some sort of way. Like you
but
can't
I am
be
successful.
No, I know, but I mean like you need to be entertainment successful, like multimillionaire. If you're spending 14 hours doing anything else, you would be really good at something.
But I think that's the thing. Like my phone addiction started when I kind of just succeeded in everything I needed to succeed. Obviously, the CPA is still outstanding, but besides that, I've kind of accomplished so many goals so early and so quickly that I literally just feel like now I'm at a point because I wasn't on my phone that much in college, in high school. I wasn't in college.
I used to get on you in college too. Yeah.
I wasn't on my phone like that.
You were always on your phone. No. I used to have to tell you to get off your phone.
But did I get my stuff done?
You did, but you could have got more stuff done if you didn't.
But I graduated it.
Yeah, you did.
I got my master's.
You did, but
in 5 years.
Now you're on your phone even more.
Yeah, because I had nothing to do. I was on my phone this much, honestly, until COVID too. COVID definitely messed me up. Working from home.
You know what you could do with 14 hours?
I know.
And you'd be like, I don't want to go to the gym. It's like, wait, you just...
Because I don't feel like getting up and moving.
Yeah, see, that's crazy. You definitely have more than me.
Of a phone addiction?
It's all right. We don't have to talk about your addictions. Let's talk about other people's addictions that they don't recognize.
No. Like,
people are addicted to food.
But see, that's the thing, though. At least I think that's the first thing to say, too, before we get in that connotation. The first thing is like admitting. You know how they always say the first step is admitting? Most people can never admit stuff. That's why I'm happy that we started with that as our first step, is we're admitting to what we're addicted to, because most people don't want to admit to it because they don't want to say that they have an addiction, or if people are just too egotistical, or they don't know that they have an addiction. But you should be able to recognize the signs of an addiction. Like, it's just, I feel like it's so obvious. Like, for me, it's obvious. I'll be on my phone. I'm like, why am I on my phone? It's 3 a.m. Like, it's like obvious to me.
I tell you that every day.
Yeah, but it's a problem that I know I have. So at least I know. Like, it's up to me to work on it.
I don't know which, and I always have that argument. I don't know which is worse, when you know that you're doing something wrong and still do it, or if you don't know that you're doing something wrong.
No, but I'm working on it. I am. That's why I started going back to the gym. We started going back to the gym this week. I've been in the gym consistently. I only took a 3-week break, and that's because we were on vacations. But I've been, going back to the gym.
Twice a week.
Yeah, twice a week is all you really need if you're on one body part. I only do my legs. But anyway, yeah, first step is admitting, so we admit it. Can you stop?
You only do part of your legs.
I do
Certainly
everything.
don't do calves.
I do calves. You saw me do calves last week on last Wednesday. That's why you had to massage them. 'Cause I had a knot. Remember? I had a knot in my legs. Okay, you rude.
Yes, people are addicted to food mostly.
Yeah, food is definitely a number one.
Food and drink.
For probably most people that don't realize, because the way people like act like when they eat food, what? I'm just thirsty.
Chick-fil-A, mango smoothies.
This is not a smoothie. This is mango lassi.
Talk to them.
It's Indian drink. It's mad thick.
Food.
But no, definitely food.
Alcohol.
And that's something I feel like a lot of people don't realize.
Alcohol's the biggest one I've seen recently.
Alcohol, food.
I'm like, y'all liver is gonna be gone.
Like, honestly, drinking is not that fun. Like, we just went out Friday or Saturday, that was.
Saturday.
And like, it was cool in the moment, but then like after a while, I'm like, this is not a fun feeling. And then the next morning, always feeling sick, even if I don't drink that much. Like, it's just not fun.
I forgot who said it, but they said that the rate of cirrhosis of the liver coming from our generation is going to be
It's gonna
crazy.
be
And like
bad.
when everybody turns like 40.
Because you know what the problem is? Drinking has always been a thing, right? Like, obviously with prohibition, all that. But the problem with this generation is everything is flexing. So when people see people flexing on social media, like social media is what's the downfall of so many different like areas. Because when people see Casamigos, Douce, Patron, like, you know, all these alcohols that's considered like,
Wait, hold up.
I got money.
People don't even know what the alcohol is actually like. I know people hear Patron, but people don't really know what that means.
They don't. They just know it's a brand.
They don't know what a cognac versus a whiskey versus. I know people see the name and difference, but they don't know the process to make it different, like how it's different. Like they don't know any of those things.
And they don't know even like.
They just know the name.
And people don't even appreciate sometimes the aging process of alcohol. Like, how long has this been aged? I mean, lots of stuff that people drink is not aged long. That's why it's cheap. But like, I think this is this flex culture. So when people buy like, what's that long skinny bottle that everybody loves?
Don Julio.
Yeah, the Don Julio, and what's the other one that's like blue and white and like those and that ceramic thing with the bell? Is this ceramic? It's glass.
With the bell.
The thing with the bell on top. You hit the bell. The one that looks like.
Oh no, y'all different.
You didn't see the one people use as like decoration that they use as like a vase? The blue and white one? You know what I'm talking about.
No, I really don't. With the bell?
Yeah, you don't know what the one with the bell? That should be a.
No, I'm not an alcoholic, so no, I don't know.
This one, Classe Azul. That silver thing is a bell. You never knew that?
No, I didn't actually.
Oh wow, I'm surprised you didn't know that. Yeah, it's like bing, bing, bing.
Well, no, I don't drink, so.
I don't drink like that either. But I knew that because I seen videos and my parents have it in their thing. But yeah, it's a bell. It's like at the top, this part. But yeah, you know, the Classe Azul, the Don Julio, the Casamigos, the Patron. So there's like this flex culture around drinking, which is why I agree with our generation is going to be so messed up because people just feel cool. Like, I'm drinking Casamigos. Like, you guys are spending your whole check on these alcohols for what? Like, and drinking is cool, right? But it's like people take it too far. Like, it's cool if you want to do it here and there. Like, we had our little streak in college. Yeah, whatever. But after a certain age, it's like, is this really fun? Like, throwing back mad shots every weekend. Like, is this really fun? Like, and it's worse for people who don't work jobs like us, like who literally go out during the week, like who go out most times during the week.
I would probably enjoy it more if I had more money. I'm not gonna lie.
But that's because I think there's different ways that you drink when you're at that point. I think when you're younger, like everybody just drinks just to get drunk. I think people who have money, they don't necessarily always drink to get drunk. They drink to actually enjoy what they're drinking because they're drinking top quality stuff.
I don't want to go on a soliloquy, but the reason why I said that is because I think when it's Saturday and you're drinking, it's cool. But then it's like, in my mind, I'm like, I got to wake up tomorrow. It's going to be Sunday. And then Sunday means I got to get ready to go to work on Monday. Which I know is not a good way to look at things. But I feel like I would probably enjoy it a little bit more. But at the same time, you know.
But I just think like the issue is it's not even like the enjoyment.
It's excessive.
Of it. Yeah, it's not even the enjoyment of it at this point. Like, you know, I think the issue with it is the addiction.
The crazy thing I've never understood is when people drink and throw up like
the same day. Like
that is nuts.
I don't think I've ever done that.
No, I've 100% never.
Anytime
done
I've
that.
thrown up, it's been the next day.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
And you throwing up the next day is just you didn't drink enough water.
Yeah, so your body.
You throwing up immediately is insane to me. I've
Does
never
that mean
understood
you
that.
drank too much?
That means you got alcohol poisoning. 'Cause to throw up immediately, like within 3 hours of drinking something, either you got an allergy or you were on demon time.
Yeah.
But yeah, other things people are addicted to is obviously weed.
Yeah, I think that's something people don't want to admit is that they have a weed addiction because it's like they
Because
feel like
there's no addictive properties in
yeah.
the way that there's nicotine and
And that's the
tobacco.
thing that I hate though, because people feel like there's no addictive properties that is not addictive. Like no, anything is addictive. Anything,
Anything that produces serotonin.
yeah, is addicting. Like just because there's no tobacco in
Video
it,
games can
yeah,
have an addiction. There's
yeah.
no tobacco in that.
But some people literally are fiends for weed. Like they have to smoke all the time. And I'm like, what are you escaping? Like honestly, like that's why like I feel like there's something else that has to be talked about people who drink and smoke all the time. Because like, what are you escaping? Like, do you just not want to be like the best thing I think you could do for yourself is to be with yourself, like living in your thoughts, like living your like. I think if you're constantly under influence, you're hiding from your own thoughts and your own feelings, right? And being connected to real life and presence and
Or, because I do agree with that, but I'll give you an alternative. Or you use those things to connect to yourself, at least maybe perception wise.
in a way,
You perceive that you're connecting with yourself more. Like you could be under the influence and you feel like it opens your mind.
yeah, people be like my third eyes
But
and chakras and
or
they
the way
smoke.
people get extra emotional when they drink, it's like them connecting to a side, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it. I
I
think
still feel like the best thing to do is to live in in your present moment.
right, but that's a whole nother
Your sober thoughts.
mental health
Yeah,
conversation.
and that's why that's another thing that's underlying with these addictions. That
Well,
a lot of people
all
are
of it.
mentally ill,
All of it.
and are smoking to cover up.
All addictions are something mental.
Yeah.
People.
Lots of times people can't. They literally can't live with their own thoughts. Like they're literally going crazy, and they have to be under the influence.
When people are depressed, they usually eat a lot.
Yeah,
Food addiction, right there, or even the video game
the food
addiction.
has a lot of serotonin. Like the way some people like when you see the overly obese people who clearly have a problem and a food addiction, the way they be moaning like when they're eating food, I'm like, food is not that good. Like I've eaten some really good food. I'm like, this is really good. But the way they be like moaning, like I'm like, this is concerning. Like I gotta show you this one girl. Her name's Hungry Fat Chick on YouTube, and I don't know if she's in a way exaggerating for the views, but it sounds nasty. Like I'm gonna show you when this is.
Don't show me that. Yo. I don't want to hear that.
I don't want to get us flagged.
Don't put.
I'm just gonna open this. I remember it to show you later.
Yeah, don't show me now. I was just thinking of this.
But no, people
Always
really
Sunny in
addicted.
Philadelphia episode where he was moaning eating the pizza. But yeah, people are addicted to a lot of things. I think that recognizing that is definitely important.
The food addiction, I think, is
because,
actually really major.
People were coming at me at work like, how do you not eat red meat? Like, it's okay in
Yeah.
in moderation and like you don't
getting
like
mad at
bacon.
you for not wanting to eat something.
I'm like, whoa, you defending pigs?
Yeah.
Like, whoa, my bad, bro.
Like no, people like even if it's just simply like things that you do, like if you work out, it's just like why is there always a commentary about you when it comes to health? Why is it seem like it's offensive to people almost like, oh, you don't eat red meat or why? Like, oh, you're vegan? Like, oh, you must think you're better than us. Like, whoa, why are you projecting? Like, what is up with you people?
Yeah, I was eating
and your
popcorn
connection
today.
to food. Like,
I was eating popcorn today, and somebody like messaged me about me eating popcorn. I'm like, whoa, low calorie snack. Whoa, sorry, I'm eating it.
yeah. Like people, I think, like you said, I think a lot of people know that they have like food problems though. Like a lot of people, I think they didn't understand that. And like, because honestly, when you're eating, you should stop eating the second you feel full. Like I complain about my appetite all the time,
And you
but
shouldn't.
that's how you're supposed to eat. Like I'm like, why do I'm so full so quick? That's just what my body needs.
And you shouldn't even necessarily eat until you're full either.
Yeah, you shouldn't. You should just eat I think the word is satiated, till you're satisfied.
Yeah.
Like, but people will be
But people,
overeating, or some people's satiation goes beyond.
yeah, that's the thing.
They're
People,
so addicted to it.
because people are so used to eating food like that. Now, before I used to work out, like when I really started working out in 2019, my levels were obscene. I used to eat. It didn't make any sense. You might have. I don't know if you remember, but you were around for some of that. I used to eat to no limit because.
No, I used to get mad because I'm like, why'd you order 6 McChickens?
Right. I used to take down like 6 hamburgers. I don't eat red meat anymore. I'm going on how many years of that?
Like 5, 6.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a
now.
while. I think honestly, you stopped eating red meat our sophomore year.
No.
Sophomore year summer.
Nah. It was like 2017, I think, fall. I think.
No, you stopped eating red meat after our junior year. By junior
Oh,
year.
was it junior year? I always get
Maybe
that.
not though.
Oh,
No, I think
that's what
by
I just said.
junior year,
I just
yeah.
said junior year, 2017.
Yeah, but not fall. It was fall 2016.
Oh, wait. That would have been senior year.
Yeah,
It might have been senior
fall
year.
20.
Then.
I'm not sure. I feel like it was longer than that.
Nah. Either way, But
Yeah, I forgot. Either 2016 or 2017.
But yeah, my opinion on that, like I've always reiterated, is if you can have anything in moderation, you can just not eat it at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can eat bacon in moderation, but I could just as well not eat it and be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I'm not missing the bacon, I promise you. I'm not twitching at night because I didn't have the bacon. Food is not that good. I
Yeah.
think that food should taste good for you to
Yeah.
be able to
And
eat
sometimes
it.
when you eat food, you're like, this is a really good meal, but it's not like the best thing in the world that you have to get
I'm out
yourself,
shaking.
that you have to die. Like, people are literally
Right,
eating
like
themselves to death, literally.
we just went to Carbone, and like I said, how I was gonna feel before I even got there. I didn't make myself feel this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, the food's good. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not life changing.
It wasn't life changing. Like, I'm like, okay, like, we just get Rihanna and ASAP ate here a million times, and Kanye and what's her face?
It's food.
Julia
Yo.
Fox. Like,
It's food.
it's still they're humans, and it's just food. Like, it was good, but people exaggerate a lot of times with stuff because
It
celebrity
was great actually. The mozzarella was the best
The
mozzarella,
mozzarella was
I've
really
ever
good,
had.
and that bread was good. And
Not that deep.
rigatoni,
I won't-
spicy rigatoni vodka was
I
good.
won't be back.
I might go back for the rigatoni, not gonna lie. But it was overhyped. Like, I feel like people were like, "This is the best thing I've ever had." Like, it was really good, but it wasn't like the best thing I've ever had in my life.
I'm like, were you eating dog food before this to make this the best thing
Yeah,
you
right.
ever had?
Like, you guys can't cook. You guys never grew up with family that could cook. Cause my grandma's cooking, and I think it was top tier restaurant
and that's
material.
no disrespect to Carbone because it was great.
No, it was really good.
But it's at the end of the day, it's just food.
Yeah.
And I know people
And
have
people
mental health
pick-
issues. I know.
yeah.
I get it.
And
But
some people, like, that's, like you said, that's where they get their serotonin from, and they have like stuff maybe from their childhood where food was the only thing that like kept them
comfort
happy.
food, yeah. Poverty. People used to, people that are impoverished, they can get the $1 cupcakes, but they can't afford the $5 chicken sandwich or whatever.
Yeah, so it gets deep.
Yeah, it gets
for a
deep.
lot of
Of
these
course.
addictions.
Of
I just
course.
think the
Just
best thing is to
recognizing
recognize it and fix it, because you don't want these generational things to continue, especially in the Black community. Like, our relationship with food is terrible. Like, there's no reason that so many of us have family members that die from the same problems, heart problems, high blood pressure. Like, there's no reason that type of stuff runs in our, diabetes. I think every Black person knows a family member that has those things. Like, it's like depressing. So it's like, why do you want to do that to your body and put yourself through that pain? Like, it's painful. People don't realize these things are painful. So like, you did all that
People
to
losing-
go through painful, losing limbs.
Losing hands, feet, toes.
And then you're gonna put your family through pain and your kids because you can't put down the freaking burgers. Like, it's just not that. For me, it's we got to grow up and like just realize what these addictions are and fix them. Same with alcohol. You're gonna put yourself through liver problems, and like, your liver is your liver. We only have one. Like, you don't want to ruin that. Like, that's literally what's like keeping your body like balanced, right? Like,
keeping your body alive.
yeah, like, you don't want to lose that. Like, you don't want to go through that pain, and like, you don't even want to deal with alcohol addiction, because that stuff is scary. Like, just people who have like are extreme alcohol addicts and like literally end up killing themselves or people around them. Like, no, you don't want to have to go through that. So, and then weed. I don't think a weed addiction is harmful necessarily, but it is something that should be kind of like, maybe you need to take a step back and try to understand, why do you constantly need to feel high? Like, why do you need to be high?
To me, it's debatable whether it's harmful or not, because I don't think the weed itself is harmful.
No.
But I think that the way you smoke it is harmful.
Yeah, because papers, like, if you're using papers that have tobacco in it,
Even if you're using anything, you're inhaling a carcinogen. It's smoke.
Yeah,
Something's burning.
you're
That's like the
still-
reason why you shouldn't use candles in your house. Like,
Yeah.
you're inhaling something on fire,
Yeah.
which kills you. That's what kills you in a fire is smoke.
Yeah,
So,
smoke inhalation.
So I don't care what's burning, whether it's weed or a piece of paper. You shouldn't be inhaling it at all. Either way,
Yeah,
overcooking your food, burning your food, that's a carcinogen.
yeah.
It's a lot of carbon in that. Whatever.
I just think a lot of stuff is just not worth it. Like, is it really worth it in the end? Like, years from now, like, are you really gonna be like, I don't regret all the smoking and drinking?
Maybe they won't.
Maybe they won't, and they feel like they're just living life, and I'm gonna die anyway.
But my motto is, I don't care about what anybody else does.
A last major addiction too that we could talk about is caffeine.
Yeah, I said coffee,
Caffeine addiction is huge.
but that includes sodas and things.
And even tea. People could be addicted to tea
Definitely had a tea addiction in college.
and energy drinks. Horrible. Like, energy drinks are so bad for you. That's what they think is the reason that Kevin Samuels passed, like, from the Red Bulls. That stuff is not good. Like, the way I be anxious and my heart rate be up when I drink any type of coffee. I was trying to say caffeine and coffee at the same time. But anytime I drink any type of caffeine or drink energy drinks, like, is your blood pressure is literally like going up and your heart rate is like fast. Like, you ever feel your heart when you drink coffee?
No, I never had those reactions. I actually only drink coffee. Well, I don't drink coffee anymore, but I used to only drink coffee for the taste because I
Me
like the
too.
taste. But I never had any of those reactions. I never got an energy boost. I just
You
like
know
the way
what
it
I
tastes.
heard though? Caffeine affects people differently. Because caffeine, like I used to literally drink coffee before class and fall asleep in class. Like, caffeine never did what it was supposed to. Energy drinks, yeah, they used to keep me up in high school when I used to like have to study. But then like that crash and like the anxiousness I used to get, it's just and everybody has different reactions to it. Coffee does wake a lot of people up and doesn't affect them the same way. But I do think caffeine has long term harmful effects.
Right.
And people are addicted bad. Like, I think we see that a lot in corporate America, right? The caffeine addiction.
I don't know because I don't pay attention to anybody.
Nah,
Like that's the difference
I had
between.
2 coworkers that literally, like, I was here and one was here, one was here. Coffee breaks twice, 3 times a day. Like, and I'm sure they had the coffee coming in, and then they would go after lunch, and then they would go like at 3. You know, I'm like, dang, you guys had coffee 3 times today. Like, I know people do it to socialize. That's the same thing with drinking, like alcohol. It's like a social activity, but it's like, it's kind of scary. Like, there's no reason they had to drink coffee multiple times a day. Like, that's a huge red flag. So, and but going, kind of, but like I said, the abortion thing. I don't care what you guys do with your body. Do whatever you want, but just be aware, because I'm not trying to donate to anybody's GoFundMe's in 20 years when you guys are on a like in a hospital bed. Like, that's when I get annoyed, because like now I gotta have sympathy for you when these like you knowingly were doing the harm to your body. So that's my issue. Don't be posting no GoFundMe links when you're purposely like doing this to yourself, and then crying and everybody's wailing at the funeral. Like, but you could have prevented it, you know. And I'm not trying to sound heartless, but it's like, I think sometimes people just need to hear it in a tough way. Like, it's not like, your body is no joke. Like, this is your body. And you should just treat it the best way you can. And not everything is a catch-all. Some people drink and smoke and do all these things, and they be living to 100 and eat red meat and all that. But a lot of things I pick are obviously harmful, and not everybody's as lucky. So.